Morning everybody, welcome to week 19 of the isolation pub session. That's 19 welcome to my shed. We're going to do another one of these pub sessions, and I'm going to crack straight on with the music and have a bit of a chat at half time, but you might notice that this week I've got all these cardboard boxes in my office, which is because my new tune book has arrived from the printers last week, and all of your pre-orders have been sent out, so if you haven't got them already, they are on their way, and yeah, if you don't get yours in the expected time, then do get in touch, but postage can take a couple of days extra than it used to, I think. But yeah, they've all gone out. My local post office hates me. Right, with the music. One of the things that I like about doing these pub sessions, which is possibly a little bit selfish, is that there are lots of tunes that I don't think get played in sessions very much at all, and they're really good. So sometimes I pull one out which you may not have heard of, but I think it's really nice if people get to hear these less common tunes, and this is one of them. It's written by a guy called Andy Chain, who lives locally around here, and he's a sitar guitar player, mandolin player, who played with the band The Geckos, and this tune used to be a staple of my Oxford sessions. It's called the London Schottische, and it's in key of B minor. yeah, so how's everyone been doing on week 19 of? Well, it's not lockdown anymore, is it? And that's where I come on to wanting to talk about things. Obviously, I've sent out about 200 of these, and if you have a desire for one of these, I've got about 800 left, and not very much room in my shed. So, but the other thing I need to talk about is that in the coming months, I am actually getting busy again, not with live gigging work. That's making tentative steps here and there, and I'm doing several live streaming things. I'm doing the Beardy Folk Festival in September, but I'm also now taking on quite a lot of work making videos for money, and also taking on work to make albums with people.
Brilliant.
So what that means is that I'm going to have to seriously think about whether I'm going to do these isolation pub sessions forever, because they take a very long time to sort out in a busy week. Yeah, so I don't really want to knock them on the head, because I think they've been such a nice thing. They've obviously meant a lot to me in terms of keeping me busy doing things and keeping me able to talk to an audience of some sort, but it's also, people have sent me their messages saying how important the sessions has been for them, having something musical to do and feeling of being part of a group, and I totally get that. I think it's been better than I imagined it would have been.
You've given us so much,
just
John.
a general thing.
So much.
When I first started doing it, but I am going to at some point try and ramp down, and I might be taking these to only being monthly rather than weekly.
It's a great idea.
In order to allow myself the time to do all the other things I've got to do. So that's just a warning. It isn't happening yet, but I think possibly we'll go to monthly.
It's a good plan.
Next week or something like that.
It's a really good plan.
And that left me thinking that these sessions have been great, and they've been kind of a moment in time, and everyone who's been a part of it has been as important as each other, and without you there'd be no session. So ever on the make to try and find some way of creating a way of me making some money. I was wondering if there would be any interests for an isolation pub session memorabilia type thing, like a T-shirt or a face mask. That'd be quite appropriate. You know, something.
A mug. A mug.
Probably a T-shirt. And I had a brief look into how to do that, and there are different ways of doing it. We can get them printed to demand, or we can I can guess what sizes everyone's going to want, and then buy a load in and have even more cardboard boxes in my shed. So
XL.
yeah, I just wanted to have that conversation. So if you have any thoughts on whether you'd be up for having something like a T-shirt with a little design saying isolation pub session class of 2020 or something like that on it, then let me know. Let me know in the comments on YouTube or in a reply on Twitter. Or there's too many ways to communicate now, aren't there? But I'll find them. I've been finding most of the videos. So I'm going to carry on with the music now. This is going to be an interesting one. The first one is a request from Laura, which is she's asked if we could do the Cuckoo's Nest, and I can't believe I haven't done that already, given that I duplicated Dear Tobacco last week when I could have done it. So yeah, the Cuckoo's Nest, I'm going to do a generic E minor version. There are lots of different variants, but it's going to be quite a simple version, so just watch those. I'm going to do the ones with if it's in E minor, they have B minor chords rather than B major chords. And after that, I was looking at another person on the internet doing kind of folk club. He's called Piers Corley, and he does a folk club on Twitch, which is a gaming platform. I watched the end of his set last week, and he was talking about reminding me of the time when we did the song with the Wild Rover, and I hadn't realised I haven't even pursued that at all ever since. So I'm going to try and do a halfway house here. I'm going to, after the Cuckoo's Nest, I'm going to do the Old Joe Clark, which is a bluegrass sort of standard, and that's got words. So if anyone fancies singing along with this one, we're going to do it lots of times through it. It's the kind of song where you can just put a verse in here and a verse in there. So I think, yeah, maybe it would be interesting to see if people do different verses at the same time. But I think Fare Thee Well Old Joe Clark, the chorus is fairly comes around every time. Anyway, enough talking. That was a lot of talking. We're going to do the Cuckoo's Nest, E minor, and Old Joe Clark in A. notice my bellows going out there. That's a melodeon thing. If you're playing an A, it's all on the pull, and you have to grab air on the push wherever you want to get it. So lovely. Thank you for joining in with those.
Thank you, John.
I was thinking about the singing thing. Possibly, if I do get someone singing early on, I'll put them in singing along a few words with the old Joe Clark, and then maybe if anyone wants to add their vocals after the second one, at least they'll all be the same.
Or not.
Anyway, that's a long session, mainly because of the talking. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. You can subscribe to my channel with one of the little links coming up, and that will tell you everything that I'm going to be doing on video. All right.
Thanks, John.
See you next week.
Cheers. Well done. We have to thank you for what you've given us. We do. Thank you.